This guy got an extra 75 saves or so, hit the 300 save mark. Maybe he might be considered for the Baseball Hall of Fame, but for me, he was an outstanding player, probably one of the most underrated relievers of the 1970s. And he's 15-year career brought him to Boston, New York, Texas, Philly, and Chicago, where he played for the White Sox. He was full marks for his talent, and I really do miss him because I miss his mustache, and he was sort of like what he called the straw that stirred the drink in a certain way for the Yankees relievers, Sparky Lyle. Now, a three-time All-Star, he won the Cy Young in '77, the first American League reliever so honored. He led the AL in saves in '72 and '76. With the Yankees, Lyle was a member of the World Series champions in '77-'78, both over the Dodgers. Now, Lyle co-authored one of the most important books of baseball history with Peter Goldenbach, The Bronx Zoo, a '79 tell-all book which chronicled the dissension within the Yankees in its World Series title campaigns of '77-'78. From '98 to 2012, he served as manager of the Somerset Patriots, an independent baseball team of the Atlantic League of Professional Baseball. Lyle is credited alongside Rollie Fingers with expanding the role and importance of a reliever in professional baseball beginning in the 1970s. Basically, the 1 to 3 inning reliever. He could pitch in different situations. Now, the native of Du Bois, Pennsylvania, grew up in nearby Redensville. His father was a carpenter and general contractor, and his mother a seamstress at a coffin factory. Whew, that's a rough job. He attended Reynoldsville High School where he played varsity football and basketball. During the spring of his junior year, he began playing American Legion Baseball for the Du Bois team because neither his high school nor Reynoldsville fielded an organized baseball squad. Now, he once struck out 31 batters while pitching 14 of 17 innings in a state tournament for Du Bois. At the time, his pitching repertoire consisted of a fastball, curveball, and changeup. He was brought in for a tryout with the Pirates alongside Bruce Del Canton. The Pirates signed only the latter after seeing that the speed of Lyle's pitches was no match for Del Canton's. Lyle did succeed in catching the attention of George Stoller, who was a scout for the Orioles at the time. He signed with the ball club as an amateur free agent on June 17, 1964. Now, he spent the opening half of his first pro season in '64 with the Bluefield Orioles. He appeared in 7 games, 3 out of the bullpen, and it was the first time he was used as a reliever, an idea which he suggested to manager the great Jim Fry. Later that season, he earned a promotion to Fox City Foxes, where he was used exclusively as a starting pitcher in 6 games for the eventual Midwest League champions. Now, when Lyle was selected by the Red Sox in the first-year draft on November 30th, '64, he progressed up the Red Sox farm system as relief pitcher, with stops in Winston-Salem in '65, Pittsfield in '66, and Toronto in the first half of '67. It was during his time at Pittsfield that he picked up the slider, a pitch that was introduced to him by Ted Williams at spring training prior to that season. Lyle recalled, he told me it was the best pitch in baseball because it was the only pitch he couldn't even hit when he knew it was coming. The slider became the most successful pitch in his repertoire, and of course, he's been ripped off for that throw for years. Now, when he was called up to Boston after Dennis Bennett was sold to the Mets on June 24, '67, he pitched 2 scoreless innings to close out a 4-3 Red Sox loss to the Angels in his major league debut at Anaheim Stadium on July 4th. He recorded his first career save 12 days later on July 16th in Boston's 9-5 victory over the Tigers at Fenway. His first win in the majors came July 22nd in the Red Sox 10-inning 6-5 triumph at home over the Angels. He ended his rookie campaign with 27 games, a 1-2 record, 5 saves, and a 2.28 ERA. He was left off Boston's World Series roster due to a sore arm. I think that was a big factor in Boston not winning that set, but that's just me. Now, we had 64 saves during the next 4 years, serving as the team's closer from '69 to '71. Now, during spring training prior to '72 season, Lyle was traded to the Yankees for Danny Cater and a player to be named later, which ended up being Mario Guerrero. The transaction proved to be one of the most one-sided in history, as Lyle became the Yankees' bullpen ace, established himself as one of the best relief pitchers ever, especially of that decade. He played a major role in the Yankees' 3 straight pennants from '76 to '78 and World Series titles in the last 2 of their 3 years. In '72, He saved 35 games, an American League record, and a Major League record for left-handers. Ron Peranowski had set both marks in 1970, but John Hiller of the Tigers would surpass Lyle's total with 38 and 73. In 72, he also became the first Southpaw to collect 100 saves in the AL. He also finished third in his 72 MVP voting. Now, he again led the league in saves in 76, and in 77 became the first AL reliever to win a Cy Young. He was named the American League All-Star in 73, 76, and 77. In 76, he broke Holt Williams' American League record of 154 career saves, and the following year clipped Peranowski's Major League mark for left-handers of 179. Through 1977, he had compiled 201 career saves and was within range of Williams' career big league record of 227. Now, Lyle was also associated with a trademark song to herald his entry into the games, Pomp and Circumstance, March number 1 in D. But despite Lyle's 77 Cy Young Award, the Yankees decided to upgrade to close the position in the 77 offseason. To this end, he signed Pittsburgh Pirates reliever Rich Gossage, who had been an All-Star the previous 3 years and had led the American League in saves while with the Red Sox in 75. Gossage was a power pitcher as opposed to Lyle's more slider-based approach and could throw his fastball much harder than Lyle could, at or near 100 miles per hour on a consistent basis. Although Lyle was not opposed to the Yankees' move, he later said that they should have gotten rid of him after he signed Gossage. Lyle knew that 26-year-old Gossage was a rising star who would eventually become the go-to reliever, and Lyle was not okay with a reduced role in the Yankees' bullpen. Now, during 78, working mostly in middle relief, he appeared in 59 games and recording 9 saves, most of which were early in the season. He also posted a 9-3 record out of the bullpen, but posted his second highest earned run average. He also suffered a varicose vein flare-up in his pelvic area. Doesn't tickle. Yankees teammate Craig Nails, of course, quipped what happened to Lyle as he went from Cy Young to Sayonara. Now, during the course of the season, which is noted he documented in his book, Lyle expressed a desire to leave the Bronx Zoo. One of Lyle's desired destinations was the Rangers, as he believed that a deal with Texas could be done before Christmas. On November 10, 1978, the Yankees traded him to the Rangers along with catcher Mike Heath, pitchers Larry McCall and Dave Rashish, and minor league shortstop Domingo Ramos in exchange for Juan Benitez, Mike Griffin, Paul Mirabella, and Dave Righetti, and minor league outfielder Greg Jemison. $400,000 in cash was also paid to the Rangers. Now, Lyle signed a new contract with the Rangers shortly after he was acquired, with the intention of finishing his playing career in Texas and being paid $50,000 for each of the 10 years as an analyst on Rangers telecasts. However, Lyle was not the same pitcher he had been in his All-Star years, and it showed. He split closer duties with Jim Kerr in the first year in Texas and only managed 13 saves. Lyle also posted 8 losses against 5 wins. He was nearly dealt along with Johnny Grubb from the Rangers and the Phillies for Tug McGraw, Bake McBride, and Larry Christensen at the 79 winter meetings in Toronto, but the proposed transaction was never executed because Lyle's post-retirement deferred money issue went unresolved. And of course, the non-trade led to the Phillies winning in 1980. Now, in 1980, he only recorded 8 saves. Entering the season as one of 2 contenders to break Hoyt Williams' record for saves, he was caught and passed by Rowley early in the year on Fingers' way to setting a new mark himself. Now, eventually dealt to the Phillies on September 13th in a transaction that was completed when Kevin Saucier was sent to the Rangers 2 months later on November 19th. Since he was acquired after the deadline for postseason eligibility, he did not pitch for the Phillies during the NLCS nor the 1980 World Series. All the news was not positive, however, as the first time in his career, Lyle recorded the ERA above 4. In 81, he saw more of the same, recording only 2 saves in 49 games with a 4.44 ERA and a 9.6 record. Now, when his contract was purchased by the White Sox for the Phillies on August 21st, 82, he played his last game on September 27 that year. He was released by the White Sox on October 12th of 82. He finished his 16-year career with 238 saves, a 2.88 ERA, and a record of 9.976 and 899 games pitched, all in relief. In 85, Fingers broke his American League record for career saves, and in 91, Righetti surpassed Lyle's Major League record for career saves by a left-hander, although Lyle still holds the AL mark of 232. Now in 98, Lyle became the first manager of the Somerset Patriots, an independent baseball league team based in Bridgewater, New Jersey. He managed the team to Atlantic League pennants in 01, 03, 05, 08, and 09, and was the Patriots manager until November 27, 2012, when he became manager emeritus. Lyle's number 28 that he wore with the Patriots was retired in June of 2014. Now, a known prankster in his playing days and as manager, he was also known for doing something like this: for sneaking in the locker room during games to sit naked on birthday cakes prepared for teammates, leaving the imprint of his ass on the frosting. In his autobiography, Lyle noted that teammate Ron Swoboda turned the tables on him by defecating on a cake, which was then delivered to Lyle. Lyle said the reason why he eventually stopped his cake sitting was because of the notoriety he gained from doing it, thinking that someone might try to put a needle in the cake to hurt him. As a world-class practical joker, he also engaged in creative pranks like putting goldfish in the dugout water cooler and ordering pizzas to be delivered to the other team's bullpen. Once, as he noted, he got revenge on Yogi Berra for using his toothpaste before games by injecting the liniment into the tube. Lyle said that once the liniment came in contact with Berra's mouth, it literally caused smoke to pour from his gums. Now, one of the originators of the hot foot, a time-honored baseball trick where a player will sneak up on another or reporter while they're giving an interview in a dugout. The unsuspecting victim that has a match or two placed gently in the back of the side of their shoe with the head facing out. When the moment is right, the prankster lights the match head and slinks away to watch from a distance. As soon as the flame from its slowly burning head reaches the victim's shoe, it's hot enough to be felt. Lyle enjoyed the final result, using a startled yelp in the middle of a serious conversation. Now, Lyle, to me, the way he was disrespected in New York had more to do with the fact that George Steinbrenner was completely paranoid. That's what he brought in Dave Winfield in the early 1980s, because he was always looking to the next season. But let's look at that Cy Young season, and you tell me how come he's not in the Hall of Fame. And just to do this, in 1977, 13-5, 72 games, 60 games finished, 26 saves, only gave up 7 home runs all season, and a 2.17 error rate. No, he went 22-8 in 2 consecutive seasons with New York with 35 saves. And of course, 76 had 23 helpers. Now, 99-76 grand total. The Yankees 57-40, Boston 22-17, Phillies 12-9, Texas 8-10. And of course, the best season, in my personal opinion, the 69 season, 17 saves, 8-3. First year in New York, 9-5, 35 saves, and that was unheard of at the time, 35, because he easily could have been 300 saves in his career, but it wasn't, like I said, wasn't meant to be. Now, in the postseason, he won 2 games in 1977 in the ALCS and went 1-0 in the World Series. And the only time he had a save in the postseason was in the 76 ALCS. Again, he never gave up anything bad until 78. He had an ERA under 2 entering the 78 ALCS against Kansas City, but gave up 2 runs and only, I think it was a 1.1 innings pitch. 81, he did play in the NLDS against Montreal, played in 3 games, giving up no runs and 4 hits. So again, total career, 6 series, 3-0, 1 save, 1.69 ERA. So Sparky Lyle, to me, a top 20 reliever of all time, I think. But that Boston deal didn't really made absolutely no sense. And I think the reason why the Yankees were so successful out of the bullpen before Gossage arrived all derives from Sparky Lyle. Because to win a championship, you got to have a great catcher, 2 good outfielders, 2 good infielders, a good DH, and 3 good starters and a good reliever. He was Reggie was a straw, but Sparky stirred as well, like in the bullpen courts. And I know a lot of people had no idea. Like the modern Red Sox fan had no idea, has no idea what Sparky Lyle is. So for him, maybe it's the first time you're finding you traded probably or got rid of one of the best relievers of all time. Can you imagine who would play with the Red Sox up until the late '70s? I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing with our alumni MLB podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share.